Hello anatomy students. I wanted to do a quick video for you on the Anatomage Table showing you the abdominal muscles that you need to know for lab this week. You're looking at the most superficial layer of abdominal muscles, and this is the external oblique. So notice the fiber orientation of the external oblique running from lateral along the rib cage in a medial inferior direction towards the pelvis. So that is external oblique. Notice that the external oblique also inserts into this piece of opaque fascia that we call the abdominal aponeurosis. And you'll see here in a minute that the abdominal aponeurosis is really multiple layers of fascia. So let's go ahead and remove the external oblique. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Remove the external oblique, and now you can see the next layer, which is the internal oblique. Notice the orientation of the muscle fibers has now changed, which is why the internal oblique is an ipsilateral rotator, where the external oblique is a contralateral rotator, and that's because of the direction of the fibers. So external oblique contralaterally rotates, where internal oblique, fibers in the opposite direction, is going to ipsilaterally rotate the trunk. And the other thing you can note here is notice another layer of fascia that the internal oblique attaches to. You can kind of see the differentiation right here, where you've got the external oblique fascia layer still on that side, and now you've got the internal oblique on this side. If we remove internal oblique, now we have visualization of two more muscles. We've got our deepest abdominal muscle. This is the transverse abdominus, and we can also see the rectus abdominis muscle running vertically along the anterior abdominal wall. Primary function of rectus, because of its vertical orientation, is going to be flexion of the trunk. Because of the transverse orientation of transverse abdominis, it really only serves to compress the abdominopelvic cavity. So we can go ahead and remove rectus abdominis, and there you can see the deepest layer of abdominal aponeurosis that the transverse abdominis attaches to. Let me also point out here the rectus. Notice how the positioning of that deep layer of fascia changes as the rectus, around the rectus abdominis, as we move more inferiorly on the pelvis. That's something we'll talk about more in lecture. So let's go ahead and remove the rectus again. So now we can see transverse abdominis very clearly on the right, and we can see the most superficial layer still on the left, the external oblique. So let's go ahead and remove external oblique on the left. Now we can see internal oblique on the left. Let's remove that. We can now see transverse abdominis on the left as well as rectus abdominis. If we remove rectus, now we've got full visualization of transverse abdominis all the way around. Okay, and you can see how that really forms like a corset to keep our abdominal pelvic cavity tight. Okay, so there's the 4 abdominal muscles that you need to know for lab. Hopefully this video was helpful to you and to help you study the images on the Anatomage Table. Have a good day, everybody.